Hello everybody and welcome to the second race of two this weekend for the Alpine Elf Europa Cup at the Circuit de Catalunya, just up the coast from Barcelona. And it's John Hindhaugh with you in our global broadcast booth just after 11:30 Central European summertime. Really nice to have your company wherever you are in the world. And what was a really great fight at the front of the field yesterday. Get to that in a moment. This is the fourth of 6 double-header rounds this weekend. Simon Thiemann starts on pole position. Beaten to the punch yesterday in the closing stages by the man who shares the front row with him from Patrick Roger Autosport's Paul Kaup. On the outside of the front row, Simon driving for Autosport GP, but that's all part of the Patrick Roger Autosport group. There is the black wrap of Paul Kaup in the number 16 car. Really tightened up things at the front of the championship, that result yesterday. On row 2, the 29 of Mateo Herrero for Herrero Racing on the inside, and Lucas Frazine, who came into this weekend as the championship leader, qualified far further back, I think, than he really wanted to, and that was a problem for him. 29 Matteo there in the blue and white car. Chazelle Technology Group Corsa for Lucas Frazine alongside him, as I say, was the championship leader. It all got a bit tight, but in the qualifying session this morning, and they did have a second qualifying session to set the grid for this race, Lucas Frazine in the black car on the outside of the second row did much better as far as his qualifying was concerned, and that puts his championship challenge, I think, back on track. After this weekend, off to Monza in a couple of weeks' time, the 23rd, 25th of September, finishing off at that very French venue, home of the French Grand Prix now, Paul Ricard, well, possibly. 14th to the 16th of October is their final rounds. Other drivers to keep an eye out for: Jules Goujon for Race Car Consulting, the number 35. He came up through the field yesterday. Rodolphe Valgren in the dark red and black 222. He was quick yesterday as well. Just checking to see that everybody's on the grid. Is that Mark Silvestre on the back of the grid there in the 14? Just couldn't see it. That was the more Alpine blue. Alpine, of course, traditionally thought of as the French arm, the sports arm of French auto manufacturing giant Renault. Business unit in its own right now. Back in the day, the original A110s built not just in France. Many of you will know about the Spanish-built cars. I actually had the opportunity to buy one of those a few years ago when I found one on the island of Tenerife. Didn't have the money back in those days. The original A110, the successor to the A108. Big rally history as well as race history, of course. And down through the years. You probably, as I say, didn't realise that they were produced in Bulgaria as well. Mexico, under the Din Alpine name. Valladolid is where they were built, in Spain, on the high Spanish plain. Beautiful Town. We've got a fantastic opera house in Valladolid. However, that was the old car, and this is the reinterpretation. It's been a massive success since it was relaunched a few years ago. And the new Evo version for the road has just been completed. Fantastically capable road car. No manual option, it is standard paddle shift. At 300 horsepower, these race cars, from a 1.8 16-valve four-cylinder engine that's mounted towards the rear, but really is a mid-engine car. Very lightweight and a perfect piece of kit for a little bit of touring, maybe a little bit of track day work. They are very nimble on the track. I like to think that my old Porsche 968 is a pretty well balanced car. These Alpine A110s, even in street car guys, are very, very impressive. This championship been around for a while now. Has produced some fantastic racing down through the years, including last night actually, when we did get to do some racing. These cars were moved to the end of the day because they had headlights and it finished in the dark, which we weren't expecting. You might remember Lilo Wadu winning races, I think it was here actually. Johnny and I talked about that race a couple or 3 years ago. Now part of has been racing in the World Endurance Championship, which is over in Fuji this weekend. She did a bit of Clio racing and then came into this. So the safety car bringing them around for a race that will be 25 minutes long. It is a rolling start, getting towards the end of the season for this championship. Just 4 more races to go after this one. Championship at the sharp end of the overall field, very close indeed after yesterday's race. The green lights are on, the 25 minutes begins to count down. Yesterday we had 6 cars across the track in just a blaze of headlights coming down to turn 1. Doesn't look to be much different today, does it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe the car on the outside makes 6. Paul Sitter right from the middle of the track turns into turn 1, makes that one work. Nice bit of driving further back down the field. Oh, we have a spin and looks like possibly a fire on the number 18 at the back of the grid, Pierre Macchi. Something was looking odd there, black smoke coming from the left-hand rear of the car. And Pierre's number 18 machine facing the wrong direction. Well, the white cars going through there did exactly what they were meant to do, taking the motorcycle option, the long lap loop, but going between the 2 yellow sausage curbs. So that won't get an extra penalty. Now, can we get around without requiring the safety car? Well, it looks like it's going to be a tow. Safety car's been deployed. Oh dear. Now the question will be, will that car roll? What I didn't understand was what the thick black smoke was coming from the outside, at the left-hand side of that car. sure at all what was going on there. Intervention vehicle there, one of the Nissan pickup trucks. Sure why they're holding on to Pierre's car. They're worried it's going to roll forward. Yes, that's exactly the issue. So race neutralised. So Thiemann from Paul got the pole shot and held off Paul Cahoon. Lucas Fresnay has moved himself up third. Mateo Herrero, Laurent Ergon, who was at the sharp end of the field yesterday, has moved up, as is Edwin Trainard. Alexis Garcin. Thibaut Bossy. Rodolphe Walgren has failed to improve. Obviously, I put the kibosh on that one I mentioned. I thought it would be a fast starter. However, Gosia Radest for Chazelle Technology has moved up. She's fourth in her class at the moment, 10th overall. All the top drivers are actually in the junior category as well. There's a separate championship for that. See if we can find out what happened to Pierre Matchy. I don't think Mark Sylvestre, by the way, the 14 car did start. So keep an eye out for the 18. Up towards the back of the grid. Coming through as they turn in. Does he get a knock? He does get a knock. Quite a significant one, actually. Still don't understand what all the black smoke was coming from the back of the car. Well, that was quite worrying, wasn't it? And it was the left-hand side of the car that originally was tapped and spun him around. So it was the 07, was it, that was the perpetrator there? At the Frank Roussel for Herrero Racing. He's at the back of the grid. So once again, our racing excitement interrupted. Top three in the championship are Lucas Fresnay, Paul Cahoon and Simon Thiemann, and they are third, second and first in this race. So that is an absolute battle royale. Fourth in the championship is Edwin Trainard. He's another 20 odd points further back. Edwin in sixth position here. The result yesterday really closed things up. Handful of points between the leaders. Looks like we're going back to green. Coming into turn number 13, they'll cut down the Formula 1 version of the track. I really think for these slightly slower cars we could be using the motorcycle loop on the outside, the old track. It's what the Caterham used when they were last here. It does make the final corner far more interesting for these cars. Formula 1 cars, of course, have so much downforce they just accelerate straight through it. You'd be getting to the corner too quickly. Right, back under racing conditions again, further back down the field. 22 going to go wide, that's Alexis Garcin. And round the outside, Thibaut Bossy in the red and white number 85 car. Think he might have got that done. Leaders already moving around the circuit. And it is our poleman, Simon Thiemann from Paul Cahoon, Lucas Fresnay in the lighter coloured car. do we say that was? A sort of a latte colour. That's macchiato, isn't it, really? Light at the top and then darker at the bottom. Obsessing over me coffee at this time of day. Through they go. Laurent Ergon, by the way, leads his class in 5th position. The gentleman drivers Mathieu Blaise, as yesterday, for Herrero Racing in the number 4 car. Ooh, 3 cars, including 2nd place Paul Cahoop, under investigation for unsafe rejoin. Paul Cahoop, the main protagonist in that. 24 is Pierre-Etienne Chaumin, and the 3rd car is the number 20, which is Jean-Paul Dominici. Those two a little bit further down, so keep an eye on our race control messages. 16 3/4 minutes to go. These cars corner so well, extremely flat. Little or no body roll at all, even though they are being leaned on quite substantially here. This is a quick circuit. Battle inside the top 10. The 69 is Laurent Ergon, that is the LS Group Autosport GP car, and Matteo Herrero ahead. Not in the same classes, so the white car is Laurent Ergon. Matteo Herrero is in the 29, the blue and white car for Herrero Racing. I'd say those two are gaining on the top 3. Edward Traynard is the next car back in the Chazelle Technology Group car. It's the red, white and black machine. And I think that whole top group is just beginning to come back together with just on 15.5 minutes to go. Rodolfo Walgren has started moving up, following Thibaut Bossy through in the 2 Herrero Racing cars. They've just passed their teammate Alexis Garcin. Now find themselves in 7th and 8th position, those two, and respectively the 85 and the 222. So half a dozen cars there, going across the line pretty much together. 3 seconds between those top 6. Now why is Rodolfo Walgren dropping down? Have we lost his transponder, or have we lost him? And if we have lost him, well, he's showing missing in sector 1. Just as I was saying, he was moving up last lap around. Is he somewhere? Well, he's just gone across the line now. So he's had a spin, I'd say. Drops to 5th in class for Rodolphe Walgren. Battle for the lead. Teammates, remember. Pullman still holding on to it. Simon Thiemann. Oh, Paul Cahoop, 5-second time penalty. Unsafe rejoin. Massive for the championship. 5 seconds would take him out of the top 6. Oh my goodness. So that was all. Similarly for 24, Pierre-Etienne Chaumin, and presumably the number 20, Jean-Paul Dominici as well. However, the biggest impact that's going to have is at the front of the race. This was all for an unsafe rejoin down at turn 1. And I've got to say, I saw a couple of cars going wide, but there is a specific procedure of where you've got to go through. It was in the driver's briefing notes and reiterated at the physical driver's briefing this weekend. Well, that has really changed things at the front of the field. Now, at the moment, that has not been applied on the timing screen. There's the 24 coming through now, down towards first corner. That's Pierre-Etienne Chomat. Well, well. That is going to cause a bit of consternation at the front of the field. So those three cars, 16, 24 and 20, being Paul Kaub in second. The 24 is Pierre-Etienne Chomet, fourth in his class, in 14th position. And Jean-Paul Dominici, 21st and 5th in his class. All getting 5-second penalties from the race director. Let's pick up a few battles. 85, Thibaut Bossi, second in his class, with Gossier Dest behind him in the blue and white. And number 3, they're battling for second and third in class, 7th and 8th overall. Gossier, very personable young lady, very focused driver. Raced in Audi TT Cup for a while. Did some single seaters before coming into tin tops. Damn competitor as well, I tell you. As all of these drivers are. Counting down then, under 11 minutes now. Just in that phase of the race when things have settled down a little bit. The 35 just coming across the line now, coming under pressure. It's Jules Gouchion with Mathieu Blaise, the leader of the gentlemen, right behind him. And at the front of the field, the two leaders have pulled away just a wee bit from Lucas Frasinet, but Lucas may well be aware of the penalty coming. There's Gossier, no it's not, excuse me, it's the 110 of Stefan de Groot, going down the inside of Frederic Roy. Frederic ended up in the gravel yesterday. Oh, it's been another incident. Already the Rodolphe Walgren and Alexis Garsan incident is under investigation. And this one, that is Margot Verza in the 71, but far more damage to the red, white and black number 20, the 2-0 car, Jean-Paul Dominici. Not been a good day for him. He's already got a 5-second penalty. Not sure he's going to get that car to the pits. Not sure they're going to be able to pull that car out of the way either very easily. This could be a safety car with 5 minutes to go. So we wondered why Rodolphe Walgren had dropped down the field. He just made up a position. It was inside the top 10 a few laps ago. There's been contact there. And that's under investigation at the moment. I suspect as the safety car comes out again, we'll also have to have a look at what's happening between Margot Verza, Jean-Paul Dominici, and I think Louis Merrick might have been involved with that as well, in the 31 car, the race car consulting machine. Try and confirm that for you. This is a time certain race, so the clock runs Sergio Herrero 4th overall, and behind him Laurent Ergon leading his class. The all-white A110. Michelin tyres on these cars. 6-pot Brembos at the front, 4 pots at the back. Proper racing car, this. I like the fact that it is blissfully unadorned with additional spoilers. Looks pretty similar to the road car. Very much in the style of the original. Lucas Fresenier there in the latte coloured machine, or what we were calling it. Macchiato. Light and dark, and they settle it out. Possibly a caramel macchiato on that car. So they'll pack up behind the safety car. Thiemann, Cahoop and Fresenier, first, second and third, are the 3 top dogs in the championship. Rodolfo Walgren is running, and he'll get back on the end of the line. It's the 85 of Timo Bossi who was involved in that as well. So Simon Thiemann has not been headed since the lights went green from his pole position, defended to the middle of the track. Perfectly reasonable for him so to do at the start. Minutes to go now. It's the Circuit de Catalunya Safety Car. The GTR, in fairness, never been the most svelte looking of 2-door sports coupes. Bit of a brute of a thing. If you've ever driven one, they are so much fun. However, completely overshadows these A110s. Just makes you realise how petite these cars are in an age when everything is getting bigger, wider, taller and heavier, even in the sports car world. Now Margot Verza, who was involved in that last incident, which also I think saw the demise of John Paul Dominici, Margot's come back into the pit lane, has not rejoined. Louis Merrick, we lost a while ago, and Pierre Macchi also. There is the John Paul Dominici car. Right-hand side of that car, the front wheel was pretty much locked solid. So the Marshall's doing a good job to get that towed back in. The use of a long line. We might be able to go green shortly, you know. 4.5 minutes to go, just under. Or so for a safety car lap here for these cars. So if the safety car driver gets a bit of a wiggle on, we could possibly get 2 laps in. Just under 4 minutes to go. Don't think we're going green this time, no we're not. However, as I've just suggested, the GTR has speeded up a little bit, and that's causing some gaps in the train. I believe we're going to go green this time around. We're going to have about 2.5 minutes to go, which I think means we will still have 2 laps to go. It goes from bad to worse for Rodolphe Walgren, excuse me, as he has a time penalty for causing a collision. And by the way, Paul Cahoop has a 5-second time penalty for the unsafe rejoin early on. The safety car was not what he wanted to see. 5 seconds now will put him down in 7th position. And that for the championship is not good news with just 4 rounds left after this weekend. Monza and Paul Ricard for the 2 final venues. 2 races at each of those for the 2022 Alpine Elf Europa Cup. This does look a lot of fun. Well, the safety car has pulled them around very quickly here. And I think we're going to go green this time by. Coming up to turn 12, the safety car now will have just under 2 minutes to go. A good lap is about a 156, 157. I think we might be on our last lap then when we come to the green this time around. Looks like the safety car boards have gone in. We are going green this time around. Dolph Walgren gets a 10-second penny for 10-second penalty for that collision. He's right at the back of the field. Now here's Paul Cahoon. He needs to get into the lead and start to build a gap. He won't win the race, even if he gets in the lead. Now, I'm pretty sure there's no pits to car communication here. So unless they've thrown a board out for Simon Thiemann, Simon does not have to defend massively at the front of the field. Lucas Fresnay in 3rd position, championship leader coming into the weekend. Has seen his championship lead diminished, but he holds on to it barely by the skin of his teeth. Top 3 in the championship are the top 3 in the race. 4th position for Matteo Herrero. Then Laurent Ogon. Time about to elapse. We will start the last lap then, I believe, next time around. So there's still time for that number 16 car, 2nd in the line, going down towards turn 10. Any gap that he can pull, 5 seconds now, the penalty would take him down to 10th position. Huge difference. At the moment, on the road, he's sitting with 15 points. He goes down to 10. That's 2 points. And what's more, the championship leader, Lucas Fresnay, would go up, or will go up, from 12 points to 15. However, at the moment, Simon Thiemann might be driving himself into the lead of the championship. Last lap board should be going out this time around. As they come to the line to start the final run around this Grand Prix circuit at Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. And still, Simon Thiemann leads. The usual battles going on down. Triple 2 then has moved up, Rodolfo Walgren, but he's got a 10-second penalty in that black car. Leader defending, that's going to bring Fresnay back in the picture in the 2-tone coffee-coloured car. Side by side. Oh dear, this could end in tears. Cahoon, winner of yesterday's race, on the last lap, in the darkness. Does he even know he's got the penalty? Oh my goodness. If he comes through to win and expects to have another chat with Andrew Murray down in the pit lane, and then is passed over. Half a lap to go. And Herrero converted. His drive-through's been converted with 30-second penalty. So that's going to take him out of 4th position. That basically puts him at the back of the grid. So that was track limits. Repeated track limits for the blue and white car in 4th position. That's huge. 2 corners to go. And it's a pole to lights victory. Pole to flag victory for Simon Thiemann, I believe. As he comes to the line, the checkered flag is waved. 0.2 of a second. However, Paul Cahoub wears 5 seconds. I think it's going to push him down to Thibaut Bossy, maybe. He finished in 7th. Of course, we're going to lose Matteo Herrero, so that'll be a net 6th. So 6 points instead of the 15 he was expecting. Thiemann wins from Cahoub in 2nd, Fresnay in 3rd, Laurent Hugon in 5th, which will be a net 4th actually, wins his class ahead of his competitors Thibaut Bossy and Gossier Redest. In the gentleman category, another great run for Mathieu Blaise, who gets into the top 10 just at 10. Well, that's plenty of business for race control there. And just to sum up then the results as they crossed the line, still with no penalties having been applied to these results. So Thiemann leads and is the winner, no doubt there. Paul Cahoub, I reckon, will be demoted down to behind Thibaut Bossy. So that would be 6th, except Matteo Herrero's got 30 seconds. So it will be a net 5th then for Cahoub. Fresnay will be promoted to 2nd on the road, and that will leave Edwin Traynard as 3rd in the junior class. And does that put Laurent Hugon onto the podium? I think it does. Best gentleman driver Mathieu Blaise. And quite a few people who have problems at the bottom end of the field. So some talking points there. And just a couple of weeks before the ladies and gentlemen of the Alpine Elf Europa Cup are back in business. They're out at Monza, and then they'll finish the season at Paul Ricard, south of France. So Simon Thiemann robbed of victory yesterday. Paul to the checkered flag today, and with his rival, although teammate, in the Patrick Roger Autosport team, sitting in 2nd on the road. That is not where that number 16 car is going to get the points for. Patrick Cahoub, who won yesterday, I reckon is at best 5th after the 5-second penalty for the unsafe rejoin early on. Andrew Marriott just waiting for the family to congratulate Simon. Didn't make any mistakes there whatsoever. Weathered the storm. He was under pressure all the way through. I'm pretty certain they don't have pits to car radio, so I don't think he will have realised. Maybe they do actually. I'm not sure the team told him because he was defending stoutly. Let's find out from Andrew Marriott.
Simon, congratulations. Well, this time he didn't nip by you on the last lap, so you're the winner. But did you know he had a penalty?
No, who?
Paul.
Paul has a penalty for what?
track limits, I think.
Unsafe, John.
Okay, no, I didn't know.
How do you feel? Great win round here.
Yeah, I'm very happy. It was a great race, complicated, but I did a good defense at the end of the race. So I was looking for today after the frustrating race of yesterday, so quite happy.
In this heat, do the tyres still stay strong?
Yeah, there is. It's getting a bit hard at the end of the race, especially in the rear, but I managed quite good, and with the safety car, it was okay.
Well, congratulations on that win. I was going to try and find our second place man because he speaks absolutely perfect English because he did his A-levels in the UK, but now he's escaped me, I think. That's typical, isn't it? But anyway, he's disappeared, but two excellent incident-packed races for the Renaults. We'll be back in just a moment when we're going to have the start of the Barcelona 24 hours, and I'm really looking forward to that, John. And John, well done calling that race. You made it so exciting.
The Alpine Elf Europa Cup then with 2 races this weekend. Andrew Marriott down in the pit lane. There'll be some consternation in that paddock later on, and there'll be some working out as to what the championship points are going to be. It's going to be nip and tuck as to whether Simon Thiemann has taken the championship lead this weekend and nipped it away from Lucas Fresinet. It'll come down, I think, to who had the fastest lap of the race. Don't think it was either of those two. As far as my timing screen tells me at the moment. Well, great entertainment from the A110s in the Alpine Elf Europa Cup. They'll finish their season at Circuit Paul Ricard. Next, they're off to Monza for 2 races there. That'll be fun to watch as well. For Andrew Marriott, I'm John Hindhaugh. Thanks for joining us for our support race card here this weekend at Barcelona. Bye for now.